Launch I do buckaroos. How the heck are you? I'm going to be talking. A few days ago, maybe about a week ago now, actually, we were at Track 94 Brewery in Seneca, Missouri, and I had this very interesting double IPA on tap that I bought a can to take home with me. As you can see, it's a very deep golden. Oh, and absolutely delicious. Not solely West Coast, but you can definitely see a West Coast influence. I'm going to set that down though for a second and show you what else I've got here. I've got from Wood Hat. And I just set that one down there without the really. This is their Bourbon Reuben S single barrel bottled in bond. So it is at 100 proof. As mandated by the Bottled in Bond Act of 1897, this product is produced by a single distillery in a single season, aged a minimum of 4 years. This is a small distillery, bottled by Wood Hat, produced, warehouse, and bottled by Wood Hat, it says, out of New Florence, Missouri. There we go. Put that bottle back again. And I do have a nice pour neat here, as you can see, but I'm going to set that off to the side as well. And I'm going to start with this because it took me a little longer to get set up than I wanted to. So I'm just going to get right to this cocktail before it gets too watered down on me. Delicious. So what I've got here is this spirit. Maybe I do need the prop. You really can't see that from there. Bourbon Reuben S. Let me show you that there. So I've got I got myself a rather generous, about a 2.5 ounce pour. An ounce of my homemade strawberry, orange zest, simple syrup of a spring old fashioned, farmhouse old fashioned, if you will, and some orange bitters, just some standard orange bitters. My first alcohol of the day. I tried to get out and get productive early. I needed to. I kept forgetting. I wanted to do it about a month ago, and then I kept forgetting. So I finally got out today to the license bureau to get my license renewed because it expires on my birthday this year. And I didn't realize it was going to take them 2 weeks to get it to me. So if they're on time, I'll get it just before my birthday. But not a lot happens on time here in Missouri. No, not a lot happens on time. No, it does not. I just had a friend ask me if I was getting out today. Probably not. Because, well, I got out a couple times. I've been out twice since the last payday about a week ago, and I probably spent all the money I really ought to spend. We're trying to put some money back for our vacation, but I kind of went a little crazy this weekend. I think my wife and I were both getting a little restless. We made 2 trips to Joplin in about a week to do a couple different things, and it was nice. I hadn't been out to Beard Engine. It was my first time out to Track 94, the first time out of there, and I hadn't been to Indian Springs in a while. Then the second trip, I visited Kilcoy Winery we hadn't been to in a while, and then Beard Engine Brewing. So it was nice to get out there. So I do have some neat, as you see here, but I'm going to put it on the back burner and get right to this beer. Now, I don't mind. I did have this beer cold to start. I don't mind it warming up just a little bit. Oh, yeah, it's probably right about perfect now, actually. Oh, it's nice out here. It's a little buggy. I was going to come out here earlier, but it was awful windy. Now it's kind of subsided a tad. Thought about firing up my smoker, but I didn't realize I didn't have any charcoal, and I bought some earlier while I was out. But I still had a little left. But I wanted to get it at least cleaned up today so I can use it the next time I have a day off, which will be Sunday. Which Sundays is usually, or it'll be a Mother's Day, so it's typically the day that take your mother or your wife out for dinner because she's doing all the cooking. Usually, in this case, I do most of the cooking at home because I find enjoyment in that. Yeah, so I'll probably cook anyway. Neither one of us enjoy going out to eat as much as we used to be honest with you, because we're both getting, let's just say, set in our way. We're not picky. We like a variety of food. I just like it done a specific way. Like things done. I just like things done right. Okay, I just want it done right. So I've had some friends give us some stuff lately, or my mom passed away this past Thursday. Um, I didn't tell anybody at work right away because in fact, to be honest with you, I'm still processing it. But anyways, once they found out, I had I've had several friends. One friend gave us some brownies. You know who you are. I I have another friend. They give us a couple. Uh, gave me a 6 pack, a variety 6 pack of some very good stuff, and then another friend gave us a bottle of wine. A couple. They gave us a bottle of wine. So I had a good prime ribeye in the freezer, so I pulled it out. I got it ready. So I'm gonna cook that for dinner tonight with the baked potatoes, so I can try that wine. He said it's a great wine, but it pairs great with a meal. So I'm gonna do that tonight. I do work tomorrow, but I don't go in until about 3:30. So I said, oh, what the hell. I really like this double IPA. I got to be honest with you. The only thing is certainly not a knock on it in any way. It's 8.5%, but man, you don't feel it at all. I mean, well, you don't taste it at all, I should say. You don't. It doesn't taste like 8.5%. Let me clarify. I decide to buy a glass when I'm there. I don't buy a glass at every place. It just kind of depends. But I was in a good mood, and we'd never been there before, so I said, "What the heck." So typically, oh my God, that nose is incredible. Typically, when I open a bourbon or a whiskey for the first time, I try it neat first. But in this case, I wanted to have that cocktail, so I knocked it back first. Oh man, a lot of big vanilla on the nose. 4-year-old bottled in bond. I Well, I would say I never buy on the secondary market, but I did buy this one on the secondary market. Technically, I guess I was buying from a friend, so in my mind, I wasn't buying on the secondary market, but I guess I was. But he had some stuff he was looking to get rid of, so I gave me a good price on 3 bottles, so I went ahead and picked it up. I was just going to get two, but then he offered this one at a good price, so I figured, what the hell? I love the color though. Wow, that nose is any indication. Wow, a lot of big vanilla on the nose, a lot of oak on the nose. Trying to place the sugars. I'm going to say a very deep, dark brown sugar because you certainly feel some molasses on the nose. Oh, oh, damn, that is nice. Yeah. Wow. I've said this before about other products, but I think it needs to be said because I think it gets overlooked. The nose, the flavors, the taste, the palate. it is all important, but uh, other than that, it's the viscosity, the mouthfeel. It's gotta feel pleasant to drink, and this one is just perfect. I'm feeling some orange, but that could be some lingering from my old fashioned earlier. I will admit, that's certainly possible, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. But I'll try some later. Let's set that down and focus on this beer for a second. Oh, mercy. It's nice to be able to relax on my day off. I needed to get that license bureau thing taken care of, so I did that. Came home, fixed some breakfast, had a couple other chores to get done, but now I'm not being productive anymore. Been experimenting with stuff for work. I do the experiments here and then make it at the brewery. But I do my test batches at home, and then I okay, this is what I'm going to do now. But they've been kind of giving me free reign. But so far, so good. To experiment and try different flavors. And so I'm enjoying. I just, I'm trying to find another word that sounds less pretentious than mixologist. I've never been a fan of that term because it just feels too pretentious to me, anyway. The way I approach cocktails or whiskey or formulating, designing cocktails. I just feel like the word mixologist, and then other words I've heard in place of seem rather pretentious as well. So I'm trying to find something that suits me, that doesn't sound as pretentious as mixologist. I like mad scientist. It doesn't necessarily imply liquor. So if y'all have an idea, let me know. Something mad scientist like, but that implies cocktails or whiskey or something. Because my wife kind of refers to me as a mad scientist as I'm trying different things, and because you never know what's going to work until you try. So I like to try a lot of different things just to see what's gonna work. I really like this. Last month I did a strawberry citrus simple syrup, but I didn't want to do the same thing, but I wanted to do strawberry. So I just added just a little bit of orange zest because I wanted this to be more of a strawberry simple syrup. And whoa, there you go. There's that wind coming up again. I didn't want to use just a little orange zest. I didn't want the pulp or the juice in there. I just wanted a little because I just wanted just a hint of orange, hint of those oils just to bring out the strawberry notes. I like the mint julep I came up with for Kentucky Derby Day. Um, we have some fresh spearmint, peppermint, and sweet mint here. So I traditionally it is done with spearmint. I get it. I'm not scoffing at tradition. I'm all about tradition. But sometimes it's about building on tradition. So I did a triple mint simple syrup. But when I served the cocktail, I muddled the mint, added the bourbon, added the simple syrup, and man, that was a great mint julep, man. And I'm really enjoying putting these cocktails together. It's a lot of fun for me at my advanced age. I'm probably on my third act. I don't think I'm on my fourth act yet, but I am probably well past my second act at 50, almost 59 now. Yeah, I'm probably into my third act. So reinventing myself. I seem to try to reinvent myself. It's not usually intentional. It's usually by necessity, but every act, the first act, the second act. I didn't go to college and I found myself in the retail business and I got really good at it. So I found myself in management positions with other folks that had a college degree, which creates some resentment, right? When you work your way up to a position that folks went to college for. But in most cases, I was a few years older than most of the college graduates with the same position. So it did take me a little longer to get to that same level. But the resentment wasn't on my part; it was on their part because they didn't like the idea that somebody without a college degree and without all that debt could get to that same position. Even if it took an extra few years. But the problem was, well, I enjoyed retail. I really did. I love working with people. Um, uh, the problem was you get to a point where you can't do anything else. Sure, seems off on me. Look at the picture. You get to a point where it feels like you can't do anything else. I can't reinvent myself because I can't make the same amount of money anywhere else. Ah, that's good. Yeah, this stuff is absolutely delicious. What I really enjoy about this particular whiskey is it's not as sweet as most of your usual suspects, right? The bourbons that everybody tells you have to have in your collection. If you're starting to get into bourbon, you always got this so-called bourbon expert or secondary market guy that tells you, well, you have to have this and you have to have that. And my advice to all those people is never listen to those guys because they're always going to steer you wrong. They're going to steer you into their pocketbook, is what they're going to do. I mean, a $25 whiskey is always a $25 whiskey, even if it's selling for 75 on a secondary market. There's nothing out there that you absolutely have to have. Buy what is good. And there's a lot of, I don't have a lot of bourbons. I don't have a lot of whiskeys because I'm not a collector. I'm a drinker. But of about the 16 bottles I have in there, not one of them, not one, are your usual suspects. I have no Jacks, Jims, or Jose's out there, or Tito's. I don't buy those products for a reason because I'm about supporting the small distilleries. So don't listen to those guys that tell you have to have X bourbon in your collection. You don't. If you're a person that enjoys the product and enjoys drinking it, buy what's good. Don't buy what some knucklehead tells you should have. As I'm holding this glass, the irony, I know. I'm gonna set that down and focus on this beer for a second. The irony, Tom. Oh, the irony. Oh man, this is something got in my beard here. So very nice double. I really enjoy it. I'm not the hugest hazy fan, and I'm on record as saying that. And some have misconstrued that to I hate hazies. I don't hate them. I don't think they're the be all end all to craft beer, and I certainly don't think that they're the best IPAs out there. And there's not one hazy on the market that's worth standing in line 3 hours to pick up. I will amend that statement. There's not any beer out there on the market, anything, or any whiskey on the market that I'd personally stand in line 3 hours for because there's so many other products readily available. I think people that stand in line intentionally to get those products are the posers that want to have that. So you say, look what I did. I'm just not going to do that, man. I'm going to buy what's out there. I'm going to buy what I can pick up. If there are things on the market that I never try, I'm okay with that because I'm not a ticker. I've never been a ticker. I'm not trying to try as many things as humanly possible before I kick the bucket. I want to drink what's good and I want to enjoy what I'm drinking before I kick the bucket. And there's a vast difference between the two. So before I finish up here, I do want to thank a few folks. I didn't mention any names earlier on purpose, but I want to thank Craig for the dessert. I want to thank Josh and Rebecca for the 6 pack, and oh man, some of those beers you got in there. Oh. A couple of them I'm going to save because of the style, but wow, I was really I saw those. I saw the double IPA had to have last night, but the other two, there's two others. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm going to hang on to these two for the right moment. Anyway, um, or they Carter Lorraine for something else that I don't want to mention here, but their card and everything else that they've done, I really appreciate. And then Brandon and Serena for the wine that I mentioned earlier that I want to have with my dinner tonight, and then everybody else at Banter that gave me a card and signed the card, and when they found out about the loss of my mom, so that was really nice. I know I'm not going to remember everybody, but I just so you know, all of you are important to me, and it's been a great honor getting to know all of you. Man, this stuff is amazing. I swear to goodness, that is really good. That's a 4-year-old bourbon. Holy shit. The flavor, the aromas here are just spectacular. A lot of big oak in the finish, a lot of spice, a lot of mixed spice. A lot of times cinnamon is in the forefront, but I'm not feeling cinnamon in a great big way here. You do taste it, but I'm feeling more allspice than cinnamon, to be honest with you. Kind of a mix of baking spice with a little bit of allspice, a little bit of clove, and some ginger. Because you feel that almost fresh ginger like note, that little bit of spice and that little bit of citrus that a fresh grated ginger will impart. You just get that right at the very end here. Oh, this is done impeccably well. I'm going to set that down and focus on this beer. And again, I want to say I love that color for a double IPA. Way back when, almost all double IPAs were more of a deep amber or a red, but then they started getting lighter, so then it became a necessity to name them. Right now, it's a red IPA or a black IPA. And now a lot of IPAs are just a deep golden, which seems bizarre, but oh, I love the color on it. Again, it's West Coast ish. It almost feels like the flavors are almost an amalgam of a West Coast and a hazy, but with the emphasis on the West Coast side. But again, it is done impeccably well. Those folks at Track 94 sure know what they're doing, and this beer is amazing. Pick up this whiskey again by Bourbon Society of the Ozarks. I love the intense vanilla on the nose. It almost comes at you in a couple different ways. As I've been trying to put it together a lot, it almost feels like you get vanilla initially, then you get more of a Mexican vanilla, and it's a little bit different if you know the two. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and gravy, baby. Who are you, Tom? I'm also Tom the beer whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy, Sláinte.